In this video, I'm going to show you the 20 warning signs of low testosterone. If you're feeling more lethargic than usual, or perhaps weaker at the gym, or even a lack of libido, these could be telltale signs that your testosterone levels have taken a dive. Men commonly face this problem, and as common as this healthcare issue is, it can also bring significant adverse effects in your life. So, while it's still early, it's best to catch on to a possible low T diagnosis. And I'm going to help you with that by pointing out the 20 low T symptoms you mustn't overlook. Stay tuned until the very end, and I'll let you in on my secret to having healthy levels of testosterone. Number 1. Difficulty sleeping. Based on research, men who don't sleep for 7 to 9 hours per night are more likely to be low in testosterone levels. As part of the body's circadian rhythm, testosterone levels rise during sleep. And so, when you're sleep deprived, it can lead to a substantial decline in testosterone production. Moreover, as testosterone levels dip, this causes the cortisol level to increase. Cortisol is the primary stress hormone, which works to boost alertness among its many functions. An elevated level of this hormone can then cause shorter sleep cycles and shallower sleep. One rule I always follow is to stop screen time at least an hour before bedtime. I exercise regularly too, which helps me sleep better. Number 2. Reduced muscle mass. When your T levels are low, a common sign and symptom is a loss of muscle mass, also called muscle wasting. The reason behind this is very straightforward. It's because testosterone plays a major role in the growth of muscle. Muscle cells have androgen receptors, causing testosterone to bind with your muscle cells. This hormone helps maintain the strength and integrity of your muscle fibers. And so by this logic, without enough testosterone in the androgen receptors, the muscle fibers are then compromised, ultimately leading to their deterioration. Put simply, without testosterone, your muscles waste away, hence muscle loss. To get your T levels back up and prevent muscle wasting, consider doing aerobic exercises and resistance training. I recommend getting 150 minutes of aerobic exercise per week and 2 days of resistance training per week. Muscle loss is just one of the many physical manifestations of low testosterone. Another more obvious sign would be a decrease in the size of your testicles, but I'll get into that a little later. Number 3. Chronic fatigue. Feeling tired once in a while is within the norm. However, if it's been going on frequently and lasts for a while, then your testosterone levels may be out of whack. Fatigue is among the top common symptoms of low T and is often the first sign of a problem. You may notice that you have no energy for exercise anymore, or out of nowhere, your body is demanding to get plenty of sleep even when you haven't done anything to warrant it. This notable fatigue, more so when accompanied by other symptoms like loss of muscle mass and increased weight, may indicate that your T levels have significantly decreased. On another note, a separate condition may also be the reason, say a thyroid disease or heart problems. So consult a doctor to really determine the cause of your low energy state. On top of fatigue, mood swings are also linked with low T levels. Number 4. Mood changes. Testosterone has a major impact on your mood. Hormones in general trigger certain emotional responses, and this phenomenon continues until you get older. If your T levels are off for whatever reason, then it could manifest through an imbalanced mood, which is bad, as this can negatively affect your health, relationships, and career. Mood changes are triggered by hormonal imbalances due to a lack of testosterone and an increase in cortisol. Low T brings out a plethora of emotions, including happiness and anger. But more than your emotions, it can change your overall behavior, creating mood swings. You can go from happy to sad in just a snap, and you just bounce around without any reason. Number 5. Increased body fat. Lower T levels can result in insulin resistance, or the metabolic inability to handle carbs. To put it lightly, any carbs you eat will go to fat tissues. Body fat has aromatase, an enzyme that converts testosterone into estrogen, the main female hormone. An excess of estrogen triggers the body to slow down testosterone production, and imbalance in testosterone and estrogen levels increases body fat. In particular, low T increases stomach fat. Excess fat then impairs your body's ability to produce and effectively use testosterone, thus lowering the already low levels of testosterone even more. It's just a vicious cycle if you think about it, and one that's hard to break without first fixing the testosterone deficiency. When you've put on too much weight, you can exercise your way out of it. But you know what's something you can easily treat that can also signal low T? It's number 6, hair loss. One of the most dreaded parts of aging is hair loss, which eventually leads to baldness. Unfortunately for us men, hair loss is much more common than for females. This is partly why the correlation between testosterone and hair loss first came about. But their connection isn't as easy as other symptoms. Boosting your testosterone levels won't magically stop balding or stimulate hair growth. However, hormones can affect hair loss. Hormone imbalance in general can lead to several hair issues, including thinning and loss of hair. Also, low testosterone means your body is also low in dihydrotestosterone DHT. DHT is a form of testosterone primarily used by the body in the skin, prostate, and hair follicles. Number 7. Erectile dysfunction. Testosterone can play a role in erectile dysfunction, or a condition that makes it difficult to keep and get an erection. Erections depend on testosterone, yet their connection is not a one-to-one association either. With ED, the issue typically lies in some kind of breakdown in the teamwork between hormones, muscles, blood vessels, and nerves that work together to create an erection. The link between low T and ED is essentially because research has shown that 1 in 3 men with ED can also have low T. However, it's important to note that low testosterone may coexist with erectile dysfunction, but low T doesn't necessarily cause ED. Many people with low T can perfectly get an erection. Aside from erectile dysfunction, another sexual health-related sign of low testosterone is, number 8, less semen. The volume of semen normally fluctuates. However, certain variables can contribute to a reduction in ejaculation, including medications and age. Experts also note that low T can lead to less semen during ejaculation. Because the seminal vesicles in the prostate need testosterone to do their job properly, low levels of this vital hormone can result in reduced secretions from these organs. As a result, you may experience low volume of semen. On a positive note, reduced male ejaculation doesn't prevent you from having an orgasm, albeit for some, it can affect their overall sexual experience. Number 9. Hot flashes. Yes, men experience hot flashes too. This sudden feeling of intense warmth or flushing may last a few minutes or as long as an hour. It can feel like you're burning up or breaking out in a cold sweat. Some wake up hot and sweat at night and are called night sweats. Hot flashes occur because the hypothalamus, which is like the command center of the body and the one that controls body temperature, is sending false signals that your body is overheated. In men, the culprit is testosterone deficiency, which can happen in andropause, male menopause, and androgen deprivation therapy for prostate cancer. Bone loss happens when your bones have become weak and thin. More about it here. Number 10. Bone loss. Osteoporosis is a silent but harmful condition, often going undetected as it creeps up unexpectedly in most cases. So how does this relate to low T level? Testosterone helps maintain bone mass and muscle mass. Studies show that reduced production of this male hormone contributes to osteoporosis, which is the loss of bone density and strength. As we age, bones naturally break down. Testosterone helps with the rebuilding of new bones and maintaining mass. Thus, if there's a low supply of testosterone, new bone growth would not be able to keep up with bone loss. Ultimately, you get brittle bones instead that are prone to breakdown from minor falls or bumps. In conclusion, the degree of weakness and speed of decline of bones in men is directly related to testosterone deficiency. Number 11. Testicular shrinkage. Testicles can feel bigger or smaller as a response to heat and cold, but that's actually the scrotum's doing. However, if the testicles themselves shrink, this is called testicular atrophy. The shrinking of the testicles, or testicular atrophy, can be due to several things, one of these being low T levels. Since these male reproductive organs are involved in testosterone and sperm production, the signs and symptoms of testicular atrophy overlap with those related to impotence or low testosterone levels. Number 12. Low sex drive. Low libido refers to a decrease in sexual desire. Testosterone regulates a male's sexual function for one, but symptoms of low T don't always include feeling like you have no sex drive. Some males still have sexual desire at relatively low testosterone levels. Likewise, for others, their libido may lag even with normal testosterone levels. However, low testosterone is one of the possible causes of low libido. If testosterone is lowered far enough, virtually all men will experience some decline in sex drive. This is why there's testosterone therapy available to improve sex drive and sex satisfaction in many men. Natural ways like exercising regularly and reducing alcohol consumption also go a long way. Don't worry, poor sex drive can still very much be solved. One of the most natural ways to improve your libido is by eating certain foods, but more on that coming up in a bit. Number 13. Depression. I mentioned in the earlier part that low testosterone can invoke feelings of anger and happiness. Aside from those two, there's also the depressed mood. Recent studies show that women are more likely to experience depression compared to men. That said, men who are suffering from low T are more likely to get depressed than men who are not. If you're a generally happy guy who's starting to show signs of depression, such as a loss of interest in things that used to bring you joy, a negative outlook on life, or changes in weight and appetite, it could be due to a drop in your testosterone levels. Sometimes it's the other way around. If you have depression, you're more likely to have a sedentary life, which directly contributes to testosterone decline. Number 14. Poor memory. Are you starting to forget about important things more often? Forgetfulness is a natural part of aging, but experts suggest that low T levels can also be the cause. Testosterone is the main hormone in men and plays different vital roles in the body. One of these roles includes improvement in cognitive function, so it's really not a reach to say that low T can lead to poor memory. According to studies, a man's memory along with his cognitive ability may lag along with his testosterone levels. And not to scare you or anything, but research has also shown that low T increases men's risk of developing dementia and Alzheimer's disease. If you experience this symptom, you should not ignore it. In addition to poor memory, your ability to concentrate can also be negatively impacted when you have insufficient testosterone levels, but more on that in a bit. Number 15. Enlarged male breast. Gynecomastia, or the development of larger breasts in men, is a possible sign of low testosterone levels. This happens when the breast gland tissues in men increase due to the imbalance of the estrogen and testosterone hormone. Specifically, it's triggered by the decreased amount of testosterone compared with estrogen. Testosterone is responsible for the physical features in men, so when there's a low level of this hormone, gynecomastia can occur. It affects about 1 in 4 men between the ages of 50 and 80 since T levels decline with age. Gynecomastia begins as a button-sized lump under the nipple which may feel tender. One or both breasts can be affected and the other can be larger than the other. Enlarged breasts are typically harmless but can be difficult to cope with as it often causes breast pain and embarrassment. Although far less common, it's possible for older adult men who are low in testosterone to have. Number 16. Anemia. Low testosterone affects numerous aspects of health, with men over the age of 65 being at a greater risk of anemia. In fact, based on a study, older men with low testosterone are almost 5 times more likely to develop anemia than men with normal testosterone levels. Not many may know this, but testosterone's responsibility lies beyond sexual functions. It also aids in the development and reproduction of red blood cells, which is why a lower T level may have negative health effects like anemia. Testosterone therapy won't cure anemia, but it may help prevent it. Plus, another study found that the higher the testosterone levels, the lower the risk of getting anemia. Number 17. Low sperm count. Having male hypogonadism doesn't always directly lead to infertility. Men low in testosterone can still have healthy sperm since sperm production is primarily dealt with by other hormones. Low testosterone translates to low sperm count, which means a low chance of reproducing. The operative word here is low chance. So if you have low T, it doesn't mean you won't be able to conceive a child. You definitely can, but the likelihood is low. Testosterone is directly linked with the quantity of sperm production. As for the quality of sperm, it's determined by other factors. If you want to boost your chances, stop smoking this instant. Smokers typically have lower levels of hormones including testosterone. Losing weight is also a great way to elevate your testosterone levels. Hair loss on certain body areas like your armpit and nether regions can also be a sign of low T. Number 18. Anxiety. Although anxiety is often lumped with depression, it's an emotion of its own that's also affected by hormone imbalance. Men with low testosterone can feel excessive worry and physical manifestations of anxiety such as nausea and trembling. You can also have irrational stress and fear due to the increased cortisol levels. Compared to depression, anxiety itself doesn't cause a drop in testosterone. Rather, anxiety exacerbates when your testosterone levels are low, be it a hormonal reaction or a mental reaction because of feeling inadequate, spurred by low T symptoms like fat gain or loss of muscle mass. Besides working out, making some diet changes can greatly help enhance your mood. Eating healthy foods like bananas, oats, berries, and nuts, and reducing sugar and fat intake can aid in weight loss and lifting your mood. Alongside the reduction in muscle mass, having low endurance is another indication that you may be deficient in testosterone. Number 19. Low strength. Testosterone protects men's bone health much like estrogen works for women. One of the main functions of testosterone is to build muscle and strength. To be specific, it does this by generating proteins which then boost muscle strength. This is why increasing strength can be harder for men with low levels of testosterone. Fortunately, there's strength training to help you build strength as well as burn fat, which is more difficult to do with aging and declining testosterone levels. After your intense workouts, make sure to refuel your body with protein and carbs. Number 20. Lack of concentration. Men with low testosterone levels may have difficulty thinking clearly or concentrating on tasks at work or home. More often than not, they think of this as a normal part of aging. That said, in some instances, it can be a problem of low T. The inability to concentrate affects people differently. Some can find it hard to focus at certain times of the day or in particular settings. Others can have a difficult time remembering appointments. In fact, many studies show that men with low T perform lower than average on cognitive tests, which only indicates a strong connection between brain health and testosterone. For those who remained until the end, here's what I promised you at the start of the video: my favorite method of keeping my T levels in check, which is to stay active. According to studies, the more physically active you are, the more testosterone you will have. Some researchers have suggested that staying active yields better results than weight loss when it comes to improving testosterone levels. My favorite exercises to do are squats, deadlifts, and rows, just to name some. Do you engage in regular exercise or maybe sports too? What does your workout routine look like? Let me know in the comments below. It's easy to shrug off some of the symptoms of low testosterone, such as fatigue or poor memory, because you think it's normal and it happens to everyone. Other symptoms, on the other hand, can cause more concern than usual, like decreased libido. Fortunately, with poor sex drive, there's a simple way of improving this problem. So, to help rediscover your passion in the bedroom, I have a detailed video on what to do. It's a super easy method.